Well, still on World AIDS Day today, let's now focus on South Africa, where pregnant women are not getting the antiretroviral therapy they need to prevent them from acquiring HIV. South Africa has the largest population of people living with HIV, tallying over 7.7 million. The country has also the largest HIV epidemic in pregnant women. The global target to eliminate the mother-to-child transmission of HIV was set in 2015. And in 2017, the World Health Organization called on countries to offer daily oral preventive medication known as PrEP to pregnant women and breastfeeding women at risk of getting HIV. But 4 years later, this is still not happening in South Africa. Now, joining me this evening is Joseph Davey, Senior Lecturer in the Department of Biostatistics and Epidemiology at the University of Cape Town, to give us more on this. Good to see you. And very briefly, Vora, paint the picture for us. South Africa is known for its advances in handling HIV. So why is SA delayed in providing PrEP to pregnant women?
Yes. So South Africa has been committed to achieving the elimination of mother-to-child transmission of HIV since 2015, including policies that give lifelong antiretroviral therapy to all pregnant women living with HIV. However, today we're focusing on HIV prevention, so PrEP, which is pre-exposure prophylaxis, which is a daily oral antiretroviral drug to prevent women from getting HIV. So 6 years later, the prevention of new infections in pregnant and breastfeeding women continue to rise. And it's urgent that we expand the national South African and the regional prevention of mother-to-child transmission. And today, on World AIDS Day, we're calling on leaders to end the pediatric HIV epidemic in Africa. So despite the progress we've made, we still have the largest HIV epidemic in pregnant women, with over 1/3 of pregnant women living with HIV, contributing to one of the highest rates of vertical transmission, so from mother to child in the world.
Let us in, if you will, some of the consequences of not giving pregnant women, PrEP.
So without PrEP, what we know about PrEP is that it's safe and that it's effective. So in the absence of PrEP, it's really unethical to withhold PrEP from pregnant and breastfeeding women. We've estimated that over 90,000 infants will acquire HIV in the next 10 years without PrEP. So our team has estimated this through mathematical modeling, and we found that there will also be maternal and infant HIV infections around 136,000, which is similar to the infections in female sex workers and men who have sex with men. So PrEP is effective and safe at preventing HIV, and it's really unethical to withhold it from pregnant and breastfeeding women who need it the most.
Well, looking at this very unethical practice, are there other countries on the continent where PrEP is being withheld, to pregnant women?
Yeah, so PrEP was only advocated for a release in pregnant women in 2017 when the World Health Organization really released updated guidelines. And since then, Kenya, Lesotho, Zimbabwe all have policies that support PrEP in pregnant and breastfeeding women, with Kenya really leading the field of PrEP provision. But really, the policies are still very much focused on Southern Africa and East and Southern Africa. And so in Nigeria, I know that there's no policy to provide PrEP to pregnant women. And so Nigeria does have a lower prevalence of HIV, but it still has one of the highest rates of infant HIV in the world. And it's also a top priority of prevention of mother-to-child transmission of HIV. And so what we're advocating for is leaders to abide by the World Health Organization guidelines and provide PrEP to at-risk pregnant and breastfeeding women across the region.
Well, you have just, sounded a warning that this is truly unethical. Now, what should the world do now to correct this trend?
So by not offering PrEP and really just encouraging women to come back in when they're pregnant and get tested, what we're really doing is just following up women that are high risk and just following them until they get HIV oftentimes. And so what we really need to do is provide them with holistic HIV counseling about condom use, about HIV testing, But it's also essential that they have access to PrEP if they need it. And so that we're able to identify higher risk women that need PrEP. So could be women that are living with an HIV infected partner, who have multiple partners or other risk factors, and provide them with the information about PrEP so they can take the daily oral pill when they're most at risk, and then prevent onward transmission. What we're seeing in South Africa is that a third of transmission is actually during breastfeeding. So it's really important to reach not only pregnant women, but also women that are breastfeeding, who oftentimes go back to their normal sexual lives. And so they need access to PrEP to prevent them from getting HIV and transmitting it to their infants.
All right, Joseph Davy, many thanks for unpacking this for us.
Thank you.